Stop! Don't eat that! 300 heads turned. A small girl barefoot, clothes torn and dirty, burst through the service doors of London's most exclusive gala. Security lunged for her, but her eyes locked onto one thing: the golden-rimmed soup bowl in front of Britain's wealthiest philanthropist. "Sir, please, it's poison." What could a homeless child possibly know that a room full of millionaires couldn't see? Before we start, hit that like button right now. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe, because every day, we bring you true tales of courage that prove your circumstances don't define your worth. Now, let me tell you how we got here cold. That's the first thing Lily Bennett feels every morning. The kind of cold that seeps through cardboard, through donated jackets 3 sizes too big, straight into your bones. She wakes behind a rubbish bin in East London, tucked between 2 buildings most people hurry past without looking. January frost coats the alleyway. Her breath comes out in white puffs. 12 years old, and this is home. But pressed against her chest, protected from the damp and cold, is something precious. A leather journal. Worn. Water-stained. The gold letters on the cover fading but still readable. Vincent Bennett, Master Chef, Personal Collection. Her father's journal. Lily opens it carefully, like she does every single morning. Not because she needs to read the recipes, she knows them by heart, but because seeing his handwriting makes him feel close again. Real. Not just a ghost that visits her dreams. On one page, dated 3 years ago when she was only 9, her father had written in the margins, "Lily, my darling girl, if you ever smell bitter almonds in food you run. That's cyanide. Never, ever forget." She traces the words with her finger, remembering that day. She'd been sitting on a stool in the kitchen of the Sterling Crown Hotel, watching him prepare dinner for visiting dignitaries. He'd stopped mid-chop, looked at her with those warm brown eyes, and said, "You have a gift, sweetheart. Your nose can detect things other people miss. Like a superpower. But superpowers come with responsibility. You use it to help people. Promise me." She'd promised. 2 years ago, that promise became everything. 2 years since the kitchen fire. 2 years since she watched flames swallow the only person who'd ever truly loved her. The investigators called it an accident. A faulty gas line. Tragic. These things happen. But Lily knew better. 3 days before the fire, her father had sat her down at their tiny flat in Hackney. He'd been scared, trying to hide it, but she could see. He'd handed her this journal and said, "Lily, if anything ever happens to me, you keep this safe. You give it to Mr. Ashford. Only him. Nobody else. You understand?" She'd asked why he was scaring her. He just held her tight and whispered, "You're so smart, Lily. So brave. You're going to do amazing things." Then came the fire. Then came the foster homes. The first family seemed kind during the social worker's visit. But after the door closed, everything changed. They only wanted the monthly check. Made her clean, cook, do laundry for their 3 biological children. When she tried to tell the social worker during check-ins, they smiled and said everything was fine. The adults always believed other adults. Never the children. The second home was worse. Mr. Patterson would lock her in a cupboard under the stairs when she misbehaved, which meant asking for food or trying to go to school. Sometimes for hours. Sometimes overnight. She'd tried to tell people. Teachers. Police. Anyone who'd listen. "My father was murdered," she'd say. "I have proof. Please, just look at his journal." They'd pat her head. "Sweetheart, grief makes us imagine things. Your father's death was an accident. You need to let it go. Let it go." As if she could let go of the truth. As if she could forget the smell of accelerant mixed with gas. As if she could ignore what her father had discovered. What got him killed. 8 months ago, she'd had enough. She'd broken a window in the Patterson house, climbed down the fire escape, and ran. Better to be cold and free than warm and caged. The streets taught her things the foster system never did. How to stay invisible. Where to find food in restaurant bins before they lock them. Which underground stations stay warm longest. Which shop owners will chase you, and which ones pretend not to see. She learned that being invisible is a kind of survival. But today, something pulls her back. Back toward Mayfair. Back toward the Sterling Crown Hotel. She tells herself it's just about food. The hotel kitchen throws out perfectly good bread, vegetables, sometimes even meat. But deep down, she knows it's more than that. It's the only place where she still feels close to him. Lily tucks the journal inside her jacket and stands, her knees aching from the concrete. Her stomach cramps. She hasn't eaten in 2 days. She's lightheaded, dizzy, but she's learned to push through. She makes her way through the morning crowds. Businessmen in suits. Women in designer coats. They step around her like she's part of the pavement. Not a person. Just an obstacle. At the corner of Berkeley Square, she stops. The Sterling Crown Hotel rises before her like a palace. Golden lights. Marble columns. Doormen in crisp uniforms. Through the windows, she can see chandeliers, fresh flowers, people who've never once wondered where their next meal would come from. This used to be her second home. Now it's a fortress she can't enter. But then she sees the banner hanging across the entrance. Annual Culinary Excellence Gala, tonight, honoring the legacy of Vincent Bennett. Her father's name. Her heart stops. They're honoring him. After 2 years of silence, of forgetting, of calling his death an accident. Now they remember? Anger flares hot in her chest. Then grief. Then something else. Determination. She doesn't know it yet, but tonight, everything will change. Tonight, the invisible girl will be seen. Tonight, her father's final lesson will save a life. Tonight, the truth will finally speak. Because Lily Bennett may be homeless. She may be hungry, dirty, and alone. But she is still her father's daughter. And her father taught her that kindness isn't weakness. That truth matters more than comfort. That one person, no matter how small, can change everything. She just has to be brave enough to try. 6 hours later, the Sterling Crown Hotel glows like a jewel box. Limousines line the street. Photographers snap pictures as Britain's wealthiest step onto red carpet. Women in Chanel. Men in bespoke Seville Row suits. Champagne fountains. A string quartet playing Handel. 300 people who've never missed a meal discussing their latest acquisitions over canapes that cost more than Lily spends in a month. Inside the kitchen, controlled chaos. Chef Harrison Cole, 52 years old, 3 Michelin stars, 30 years of culinary excellence, barks orders over clanging pots and hissing flames. His sous chefs move like surgeons. Every detail must be perfect. Tonight's gala will be featured in the Times Country Life, photographed for Instagram by influencers with millions of followers. But Harrison pauses at the soup station, looking at the recipe card. Vincent's French onion soup. The signature dish. Vincent's creation. He closes his eyes briefly, remembering. Vincent Bennett had been more than a colleague. He'd been a friend, a mentor to the younger cooks, a man who treated dishwashers with the same respect as executives. And his daughter. Harrison shakes his head. He'd tried to find her after the fire. Contacted social services, called every children's home in London. But she'd vanished into the system. He'd failed her. Failed Vincent. He didn't know she was less than 200 meters away, watching from the shadows. Across town, in a penthouse office overlooking Hyde Park, Edmund Ashford adjusts his tie. At 70, he's donated £400 million to charitable causes. Scholarships for underprivileged students. Food programs for the homeless. Tonight, he'll announce his largest legacy project yet, the Vincent Bennett Culinary Foundation, a £150 million endowment to train young chefs from poverty. His assistant knocks. "Sir, your nephew Malcolm has arrived." Malcolm Ashford enters. 46 years old. Suit that costs £8,000. Smile that's been practiced in mirrors since childhood. Empty eyes. "Uncle Edmund, about tonight's announcement." "I've seen the audit, Malcolm." Edmund's voice could cut glass. £60 million missing. Shell companies. Offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands. "You have until tonight to explain, or I'm calling the authorities." Malcolm's jaw tightens. The smile cracks. "You're making a terrible mistake. The only mistake was trusting you with company finances." Edmund's expression is stone. "If you can't account for that money, you're finished." Malcolm leaves without another word. In his pocket, his hand closes around a small glass vial. Clear liquid. Potassium cyanide dissolved in water. Odorless when cold. Tasteless in the right concentration. But when heated in soup, under specific conditions, it releases one telltale signature. The faint smell of bitter almonds. Lily crouches in the alley behind the hotel, watching kitchen staff on smoke breaks. "Mate, I still can't believe Vincent's gone," one says. "Best chef this place ever had. That fire was brutal. And his daughter, heard she's in care now." "Nah, heard she ran away. Probably dead, innit?" Street kids don't last long. They laugh. Casual. Cruel. Discussing someone they think is already erased. Lily's fists clench. Tears burn her eyes. She wants to scream. "I'm alive. I'm right here. I'm Vincent Bennett's daughter, and I'm not dead." But she stays silent, because that's what you learn when you're invisible. When you're a child nobody wants. When you're poor, alone, and brown-skinned in a city that's learned not to see you. You learn that your voice doesn't matter. You learn to survive in the margins. She wipes her eyes and reaches for discarded bread in the bin. Then freezes. A smell, drifting from the kitchen vent. Familiar. Wrong. She closes her eyes, her father's training kicking in automatically. Her nose catalogs every scent: caramelized onions, aged Gruyere, beef stock, thyme sherry. And underneath, barely perceptible, bitter almonds. Her father's voice echoes in memory. If you smell bitter almonds, run. That's cyanide. Horror floods through her. She moves to the vent, inhaling deeply. Yes, definitely there. In the soup. But not all the soups, just one. The VIP batch being prepared separately. Someone has poisoned the soup meant for the head table. For Edmund Ashford. Lily's mind races. She could run. Stay safe. Stay invisible. Who'd believe a homeless girl anyway? She's tried telling the truth before. About her father's murder. About the abuse in foster care. Nobody ever believes the powerless. But then she sees it. Through the kitchen window, a photograph on the wall. Her father, standing with Edmund Ashford, both smiling. Underneath, a plaque. In memory of Vincent Bennett, a chef who gave everything. Her father gave everything. Can she give any less? Inside the ballroom, Edmund takes the stage to thunderous applause. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. The culinary arts represent more than food. They're bridges between cultures. They nourish souls, not just bodies. The crowd listens with rapt attention. 2 years ago, I lost a dear friend. Vincent Bennett was one of the finest chefs Britain has ever known. His talent was matched only by his kindness, his dedication to teaching the next generation. Tonight, we honor his memory with the Vincent Bennett Culinary Foundation, dedicated to giving opportunities to young people who have talent but not resources. Applause erupts. Cameras flash. Lily, who slipped inside through the service entrance, hides near the kitchen door. She hears her father's name echo through the ballroom. Her heart breaks and swells at once. They remember him. They honor him. But someone here killed him. In the kitchen, Malcolm moves with the confidence of ownership. When backs are turned, he uncaps the vial. 3 drops into the soup bowl before the cheese crust goes on top. Perfect. Untraceable. Necessary. A server places it on a tray, the golden-rimmed bowl indicating VIP service. Malcolm checks his watch. 15 minutes until symptoms appear. 15 minutes until Uncle Edmund's tragic heart attack. Until £60 million stays hidden. Until the threat of prison disappears. The server pushes through the swinging door toward the ballroom. Lily sees the tray. Smells the poison. Sees the golden rim. Her father's voice. Superpowers come with responsibility. Use it to help people. She doesn't think. Doesn't hesitate. Doesn't consider that she's a homeless black child about to interrupt the wealthiest people in London. She runs. Stop. Don't eat that food. 300 heads turn in perfect synchronization. A small girl, 12 years old, barefoot, clothes filthy, bursts through the service door. The Sterling Crown's grand ballroom, filled with designer gowns and diamond jewelry, freezes in collective shock. Security guards lunge. She dodges, wild-eyed, desperate. Sir, please, the soup. It's poison. At the head table, Edmund Ashford sits before his French onion soup. His spoon hovers midair. Malcolm stands abruptly, face draining white, then flushing crimson. Remove this vagrant immediately. But Lily's eyes lock on the soup. Her nostrils flare. Edmund's spoon freezes. The room holds its breath. What could a homeless child possibly know that a room full of Britain's elite cannot see? Everything is about to change. And this time, finally, someone is going to listen. The silence breaks like shattering glass. A woman in pearls laughs, high, sharp, dripping with contempt. A homeless child smelling poison? This is absurd. Another voice, male, from the back. Probably high on drugs. That's what these people do. These people. Lily flinches. The casual racism wrapped in expensive accents. She's heard it before. We'll probably hear it again. But not today. Today, she refuses to be invisible. Security guards grip her arms, but Edmund raises his hand. Wait. He stands slowly, studying her. Really looking. He sees past the dirt, the torn clothes, the bare feet on marble floors. He sees her eyes, fierce, intelligent, desperate. Certain. What's your name, child? Lily's voice cracks. Lily. Lily Bennett. The room gasps collectively. Whispers spread like wildfire. Bennett. Vincent's daughter. I thought she was dead. What's she doing here looking like that? Edmund's eyes widen with recognition, then fill with anguish. Lily, my God. I've been looking for you for 2 years. Malcolm interrupts, voice sharp with barely controlled panic. Uncle, this is clearly a scam. Street children will say anything for attention. For money. Quiet, Malcolm. Edmund's command cuts like a blade. He turns back to Lily, voice softening. Why do you think the soup is poisoned? Lily steadies herself. This is it. The moment everything either changes or stays broken forever. I can smell it. Bitter almonds. My father taught me. That's cyanide. It's faint, but it's there, in your bowl. The one with the gold rim. A man in a tuxedo scoffs. Preposterous. Someone call the police. But Chef Harrison Cole pushes through the crowd, tears already streaming down his face. Mr. Ashford, with respect, Vincent did train his daughter. I saw it myself. Every Saturday, she'd come to the kitchen. She could identify 40 different herbs blindfolded. At age 7, she detected a gas leak in our basement before our sensors registered it. Harrison kneels before Lily, voice breaking. Vincent always said you had the finest nose in all of England. Edmund looks at the soup. Then at Malcolm, who's sweating despite the ballroom's perfect temperature. Bring me a chemical detection kit. Malcolm's voice rises, cracking. Uncle, you can't seriously. This is a child, a homeless, probably disturbed. I said bring a kit. Now. Security Chief Amelia Wright appears with a portable toxin scanner. She takes a sample from Edmund's soup, adds testing solution, waits. The readout flashes red. Positive for cyanide. The room explodes. Women scream. Men shout. Cameras flash in strobing chaos. People surge toward exits, knocking over chairs, champagne glasses shattering across marble. Malcolm backs away, face cycling between white and crimson. This is impossible. Someone set me up. This is. Security, Edmund's voice thunders through the chaos. Detain my nephew. No one leaves until police arrive. Amelia's team surrounds Malcolm. He's trembling, eyes darting for escape routes that don't exist. Lily collapses against the wall. Adrenaline drains from her body, leaving her hollow. Shaking. A waiter brings her a chair. Someone drapes a clean tablecloth around her shoulders. The first genuine kindness she's received from these people. Edmund kneels beside her, ignoring the chaos swirling around them. Lily, you just stopped a murder. Your father would be so incredibly proud. Tears stream down her face. Mr. Ashford, my father didn't die in an accident. Edmund's expression hardens into something terrible and focused. What do you mean? With shaking hands, Lily opens the journal. Turns to an entry dated 3 days before Vincent's death. Points to her father's handwriting, precise even in urgency. Discovered major financial discrepancies in company accounts. Malcolm Ashford siphoning funds through shell catering companies. Minimum £60 million. Must tell Edmund tomorrow. Lily, if anything happens to me, this journal is proof. Keep it safe. Give it only to Edmund Ashford. Trust no one else. Edmund takes the journal, reads. Flips through pages filled with dates, amounts, vendor names that don't exist, account numbers. His hands shake with rage. Malcolm killed Vincent. Lily nods, sobbing. The fire wasn't an accident. I've tried telling people for 2 years. Social workers. Teachers. Police. No one believed me. I was just a kid. Just another black foster child nobody cares about. Malcolm suddenly lunges. Breaks free from a guard's loosening grip. Grabs a steak knife from a nearby table. Seizes a waiter by the collar. Presses the blade to the young man's throat. Everyone back. I'm walking out of here or this man dies. The waiter whimpers. Security freezes. But Lily stands slowly, journal clutched in her hand. You killed my father. Shut up. Malcolm's voice cracks. The knife trembles against the waiter's throat, drawing a thin line of blood. Edmund raises both hands. Malcolm, don't make this worse. Worse. Malcolm's polished veneer shatters completely. You were going to destroy me. Everything I built. Everything you stole. Edmund corrects, voice like ice. Lily watches Malcolm's eyes. The slight tremor in his knife hand. The way he keeps glancing toward the kitchen exit. He's not a killer by nature. He's a thief. A coward who pays others for violence. She speaks quietly. You're not really a killer, Mr. Ashford. Not with your own hands. You're just scared. I said shut up. but his grip loosens slightly. Lily raises the journal. You think no one will believe a homeless black girl? Maybe you're right. But they'll believe this. She opens to pages of meticulous documentation. Every transaction. Every fake vendor. Every stolen pound. My father documented everything. Malcolm's face drains of color. That journal is hearsay. Proves nothing. Actually, Malcolm, Edmund speaks up. I've been conducting my own audit for 6 months. Vincent's notes match perfectly with anomalies I found. Combined with this journal and tonight's attempted murder with 300 witnesses, the Crown Prosecution Service will have everything they need. But Lily pulls out one more thing from her jacket. A small digital recorder, battered but functional. You won't need just the journal. You'll need this. She presses play. Her father's voice fills the ballroom, warm, kind, alive. Malcolm, I know what you've done. 60 million pounds. I have all the documentation. I'm telling Edmund tomorrow. Malcolm's voice responds. If you say one word, Vincent, I'll make sure you regret it. You and that daughter of yours. Are you threatening my child? I'm saying accidents happen in kitchens. Gas leaks. Fires. Very tragic. The recording ends. Absolute silence. Then Amelia Wright's voice, firm and clear. Malcolm Ashford, you're under arrest for first-degree murder. As they drag him away in handcuffs, Malcolm screams. I'm an Ashford. I have connections. You can't. But his voice fades. The powerful man becomes powerless. The invisible girl becomes seen. 6 months later, Lily moves through the Sterling Crown kitchen with quiet confidence. She's 13 now. Taller. Healthier. Her chef's coat bears the name L. Bennett in the same elegant script her father's once carried. She's prepping vegetables for lunch service when a nervous young woman enters. Excuse me, I'm looking for Chef Cole. I'm Amara Okafor, the new scholarship student. Lily sets down her knife, smiling. You're from the Vincent Bennett Foundation? Amara nods. Yes. I never thought I'd get in. I'm from South London. Group homes my whole life. Lily takes her hand warmly. Me too. East End. I ran away before aging out. I know what you've been through. Amara's eyes widen. Wait, you're the Lily Bennett. I'm the girl who got a second chance, Lily corrects gently. Just like you. Come on, I'll show you around. First rule, this kitchen is family. In Edmund's office, he reviews applications. Over 2,000 in the first 6 months. 85 students selected. Kids from shelters, foster care, poverty. His assistant enters. Sir, the Home Secretary wants Lily to speak at the Youth Empowerment Conference. Edmund smiles. I'll ask. But she makes her own decisions now. Lily knocks. Mr. Ashford, got a minute? Always. She sits. I've been thinking about the scholarship. It's brilliant. But there are kids who don't even know it exists. Kids still living on streets like I was. What do you propose? Mobile cooking classes. We take kitchens to them, shelters, community centers, wherever kids gather. Teach skills. Feed them. Show them there's a path forward. Edmund's eyes shine. That's brilliant. Very Vincent. It can heal more than hunger, Lily says firmly. It saved me. Not just cooking, the community. Feeling valued. Feeling seen. Then let's make it happen. The Vincent Bennett Mobile Culinary Academy. You'll help design it. I'd be honored. That evening, Lily sits in her small apartment. Her own apartment, proof she can handle independence with support. Her father's journal lies open beside her laptop. She's writing her own journal now. Dad, I taught my first student today. Amara. She reminded me of me 6 months ago, scared but hungry to learn. I told her what you told me. Your past doesn't define you. Your choices do. I hope I made you proud. She looks at a framed photo. Her and Vincent in the kitchen, both in chef's hats, both smiling. She was 8 then. Happy. Safe. Loved. She's finding her way back to that girl. Her phone buzzes. Edmund, Sunday dinner. Attempting your father's cocoa vin. Failing miserably. Need an expert. Lily laughs, texts back. I'll be there. Bring extra wine. Walking to evening service, she passes a homeless woman in a doorway. Lily stops. Kneels. Hands her a card. Vincent Bennett Foundation. Culinary arts for all. No background too difficult. There's always a path forward, Lily says gently. The woman tears up. Thank you. God bless you. Pass it forward. Lily continues walking, disappearing into the restaurant's warm light. The cycle of kindness continues. Because here's what Lily Bennett's story teaches us. Worth is not determined by circumstance. A homeless child had more courage than a millionaire in a bespoke suit. A 12-year-old girl carried justice for 2 years, waiting for the moment she could finally speak. Never underestimate the powerless. How many Lily Bennetts are out there right now? Sleeping in shelters, eating from bins, carrying genius in their minds and courage in their hearts? How many do we walk past every day without seeing? Visibility equals dignity. Vincent taught his daughter that a chef's job is to nourish. But nourishment isn't just food. It's opportunity, recognition, belief. When we invest in the overlooked, we don't just change one life. We change hundreds, thousands. Lily now mentors 40 scholarship students. Those students will mentor others. The ripple never ends. Legacy multiplies. And Malcolm? He's serving life in prison. Every advantage, money, power, connections, elite education. He chose greed over integrity. Violence over honesty. He lost everything. Character matters more than status. So here's the real question. What will you choose? When you see someone struggling, will you look away or see their potential? When you have power, will you use it to take or to lift? When you're knocked down, will you stay there or fight like Lily? Your past does not define you. Your choices do. If this story moved you, here's what you can do. Hit that like button to help it reach others who need hope. Share it with someone who feels invisible. Comment with your own story of overcoming adversity. Subscribe to Sage Stories for more tales of courage, justice, and redemption that prove circumstances don't define worth. And if you can, support organizations helping homeless youth. Mentor a young person. Be the Edmund in someone's life. Because somewhere out there right now is the next Lily Bennett. Will you see her? As Lily herself says, nobody should be invisible. Not in life. Not in death. Not ever. A room full of millionaires couldn't smell poison in soup. A barefoot 12-year-old homeless girl could. It changed everything. Thank you for listening to this story. Remember, kindness isn't weakness. Truth matters more than comfort. And one person, no matter how small, can change the world if they're brave enough to try.